Now comes the third principle that will result in God realization. A karma. In it, you perform your bodily duties while keeping the mind in God. Since your mind does not hanker for the fruits of the actions, you do not get entangled in karmic reactions. This has been explained in the commentary above. Karma Yoga is another name for akarma. It will be discussed in detail in Mantra 14. If we do not maintain the spirit of akarma while performing actions and instead actively hanker for sensual pleasures, then our works become sinful. Subsequently, after death, we will face the consequences of our impious deeds, which are described in the next mantra. Mantra 3. There are realms without sunshine that are awash with the demonic mindset. They remain covered with the darkness of ignorance that gives sorrow. Humans who expend their soul energy in merely relishing sensual pleasure are sent there after death. Those in material consciousness are unaware that God is the proprietor of the world. In ignorance, they identify themselves with the body endowed with 5 senses. Thus, they pursue sensual gratification with the expectation of finding happiness. Unfortunately, hedonistic delights only provide momentary excitement, and then the desire returns. This can be compared to running on a treadmill. One can jog on it for an hour, and yet physically one remains in the same place. Likewise, even after a lifetime of attempting to fulfill the desires of the senses, one is no happier than before. The Srimad Bhagavatam explains in verse 9.19.13, all the world's luxuries, gold, women, and opulences will not suffice to satiate the mind of a man who is afflicted by lust. If we repeatedly strive to quench a desire, it grows into a craving. And if the craving is for a pleasure that is viewed by society as immoral, it gets labeled as an addiction. The state of craving becomes an addiction when it increases to the point that one loses control over oneself. Addictions grip people so strongly that they ignore even extreme harm to indulge in them. The etymology of the word addiction in Latin implies enslaved by. If you have ever tried to help people with an addiction or suffered from one yourself, you will understand why enslaved by is so apt. Hence the saying that the best time to get rid of an addiction is before it starts. Under the sway of addictions, desire, and anger, people often cross the line of morality and commit grossly sinful deeds. As a result, the soul suffers a downfall, and in its next life, it is sent to the hellish abodes. The mantra says the fruit of grossly sinful activities is asurya,